At the birthday banquet, I was closing my eyes to make a wish. Suddenly, the happy birthday song stuttered and changed into the funeral march. The next second, ribbons and foam sprayed all over my head and face, the stench suffocating. I stood there in disbelief, wiping for a long time before removing the filth from my face. Turning my head, I saw my husband's childhood sweetheart hiding behind him, covering her mouth and snickering. "Sister, do you like my surprise?" I was about to lose my temper when he picked up the microphone and said it was just a harmless prank, urging me not to take it seriously. The reporter's flashes captured my pale face. Unable to endure it any longer, I grabbed the cake and smashed it onto Adrian's face. Adrian's face was covered in cream, but he wasn't angry. He even stuck out his tongue to lick the cream from the corner of his mouth and gently said, "Grace, that was a good smash. Have you vented your anger?" Not only did my anger not subside, but I felt a sense of futility, like punching cotton. However, his childhood sweetheart Tina exclaimed in surprise, her eyes teary as she used her sleeve to wipe the cream from his face. The two of them clung together in front of everyone. Adrian dodged, grabbing Tina's hand. "Tina, don't make a fuss, this time you went too far, we need Grace to forgive us." Tina glared at me as if I were her mortal enemy. She shouted, "Are you satisfied now? I was just trying to play a joke on you. I didn't expect you to be such a poor sport." "This is the first time I've heard that playing a funeral song is a joke." Tina's eyes darted away. "That was an accident, I played the wrong one." "Do you have to treat your husband like this? If you dare, come at me." "She still knows Adrian is my husband." I was almost amused by my anger and said, "Fine, stand still and don't hide." I turned back to grab another cake, only to see Adrian nervously hugging Tina. "Tina, be careful." "Brother Adrian, I'm fine, let sister punish me." Tina shed 2 tears. He turned his head, glaring viciously at me as if I were the villain who ruined someone's birthday. I was just about to smash a cake at Tina, and Adrian was so tense. What about me? I was covered in sticky foam. I weakly lowered my hand, tears sliding down my cheeks. This was my 25th birthday, and my father said it was very important. He invited many prominent nobles, saying he wanted to introduce them all to me for the sake of inheriting the family business in the future. Now, the birthday banquet was ruined, and the crown on my head seemed so ridiculous. In the end, it was because I couldn't resist Adrian's plea that I let Tina step into my birthday party. I could only apologize, dismiss the arriving guests, and return alone to the Jiang family ancestral home. Unexpectedly, Adrian didn't attend to his childhood sweetheart but knocked on my door instead. "Grace." He smiled elegantly, still carrying a faint scent of cream. As I was about to close the door, he reached out to block it, took my wrist, and put a jade bracelet on me. I had coveted this jade bracelet for a long time, but unfortunately, it was the only one in the world, impossible to buy even with money. I didn't expect Adrian to find it for me. "Happy birthday." He lowered his head and kissed my hand. Setting aside his childhood sweetheart, Adrian was the perfect partner. He knew my preferences, cared for my emotions, and every date made me feel comfortable. More importantly, we shared a life and death bond. We were taken by human traffickers into the deep mountains. He shielded me, beaten by the traffickers until he spat blood, and gave me the only hidden food. This became Adrian's get-out-of-jail-free card. Every time he cleaned up after his childhood sweetheart, I endured it repeatedly. I told myself that Adrian was just kind and enthusiastic, treating his childhood sweetheart truly like a sister. Every time I got angry, he would be doubly good to me and let me vent my emotions. Once again, I chose to forgive, muttering, "Not happy at all." "Yes, it's all that girl Tina's fault, I've already scolded her harshly." Seeing my tone soften, Adrian hugged me. In his embrace, there was Tina's scent. I wanted to push him away, but he held me tighter. "Don't be angry, wife, I'll make Tina come apologize in person." "Hee, are you willing?" I looked up aggrievedly, tears welling in my eyes. Adrian sighed, "Grace, you know Tina's father left to save me, and later her mother died of illness. Tina is my lifesaver's daughter, I've long treated her as my own sister. Both of us, out of guilt, chose unlimited tolerance. I tolerated his lack of boundaries and ambiguous relationship with his childhood sweetheart. He indulged her repeated mistakes, dutifully cleaning up after her. I closed my eyes, silently shedding tears. Adrian lowered his head and kissed me. Suddenly feeling disgusted, I bit his lip hard with my teeth. He grunted but didn't struggle until I released my teeth, seeing his mouth full of blood. I frowned, reaching out to wipe the blood from his mouth. He smiled and said he had company matters, and would pick me up later to go home. I returned to the bedroom, fiddling with the bracelet Adrian gave me, but noticed friction marks on it. At that moment, my phone rang. Tina sent me several pictures. In the photos, she was propping her chin with her left hand, eating dessert fed to her by someone. Zooming in, I saw that on her left hand was the birthday gift I received today, and though the person feeding her the dessert wasn't showing their face, I could tell it was Adrian. Checking the shooting date, it was 3 days before my birthday. So my birthday gift had been worn on another woman's hand 3 days earlier. Tina hypocritically sent a message, "Oops, I can't retract it, sorry Grace sister, I sent it by mistake." Wrong music in the morning, wrong pictures in the evening. Tina grew up this big thanks to Adrian's protection. I forwarded the photos to Adrian. His call came the next second. "Hey Grace, it's not what you think, Tina and I went to the auction together, you know the little girl loves beauty, she just tried it on for you and took a photo." Adrian, you're something, giving a second-hand birthday gift. The thought that the gifts he gave me before might have all been tried on or worn by Tina made me feel disgusted. After packing all the things he gave me, I directly mailed them to his company. Then I took a cab back to our marital home with Adrian. Because I was attached to my home, Adrian always accommodated me, living with me in the ancestral house. People in the circle mocked him as a live-in son-in-law, but he just smiled proudly and said, "Being a live-in son-in-law depends on whether you have the ability, none of you do, only I do." I brought a suitcase, preparing to move all my things out and separate from Adrian. As soon as I opened the door, a woman threw herself into my arms, I subconsciously pushed her forward. The next second, her scream pierced my eardrums. "Ah! Why are you here?" I saw Tina wearing Adrian's shirt, strutting around our marital home, not even sure if she was wearing pants. My face turned pale. "Tina, this is my marital home, do you have no home? Shamelessly living in someone else's marital home like this," I said through gritted teeth, seeing Tina's face change from anger to grievance. "Brother Adrian, sister is being mean to me again." Adrian passed by me with a cold face, intentionally or unintentionally bumping into me, then patting Tina's back to comfort her. "Grace, why do you have to bully Tina? The house is empty anyway, what's wrong with Tina staying temporarily?" "This is temporary staying?" I walked over, grabbing Tina's collar. "Then explain why the shirt I gave you is worn by another woman? Why did she throw herself at me thinking I was you when I opened the door? I also didn't expect a temporary guest to not even wear pants in someone else's home. You two must play like this often, right?" Adrian's face showed a trace of humiliation. "Grace, you're misunderstanding me." Not wanting to hear their nonsense, I headed straight to my bedroom. Opening the door, it was piled with Tina's clothes and shoes. Even the clothes in my wardrobe were tainted with Tina's scent. I really didn't expect that after just 2 months away for training, the owner of this house was about to become Tina. "Grace, Tina said your room has a balcony, that's why she wanted to stay here." Adrian grabbed me, and I fiercely shook him off. "Adrian, I can overlook everything else, but what about my mother's wedding gift to me? Where did you put it?" I grabbed his collar, questioning loudly. "Sister Grace, don't be so fierce, okay?" Tina came over, prying my hand. "Tina, where's Grace's locked box? Didn't I tell you not to touch it? Where did you put it?" Tina shrank her neck. "That locked box." Under my angry glare, Tina crawled under the bed and took out the box. The lock on it had been violently broken, the box was shattered and pieced together with glue. "Brother Adrian, the more you tell me not to open it, the more I want to see." Tina was still acting coy. My body stiffened, trembling as I opened the box and saw the destroyed music box inside. Tina. I growled lowly, my eyes reddening. The music box contained my mother's words recorded before her death, which had always been my spiritual sustenance. Mother said she wouldn't have the chance to see me get married, so she recorded her words in the music box for me to bring to the marital home, as if she were still there, still protecting me. But now, the music box was destroyed and could no longer play sounds. I couldn't imagine that a woman would move into my marital home, and that woman would destroy my most precious item into pieces. Tina was still poking her fingers cutely. Oops, I couldn't open the lock, so I asked someone to hammer it open, but that person wasn't skilled, smashing the box and the contents inside. It took me a lot of effort to glue the box back together. Tina's tone even carried some pride. I almost lost my reason, lunging to hit Tina. But Adrian hugged me from the waist, so my hands could only land on him, scratching bloody marks. Grace, it's all husband's fault, husband is useless. Adrian kept apologizing to me. I'll definitely find a way to repair it. If it can't be repaired, we'll divorce, and this second-hand bracelet, keep it yourself. I threw these words, took the jade bracelet from my pocket, threw it at Adrian's face, grabbed my bag, and walked out. I could vaguely hear Tina coquettishly say, "Brother Adrian, look at her, she doesn't care about you at all, like a tigress." When Adrian came to see me, I had already started taking over company projects under my father's arrangement. "Grace, it's repaired, can you forgive me?" He handed over the music box. I quickly put down the documents in my hand, took the music box, and turned on the switch. "Grace, Mother's precious daughter." Mother's voice was somewhat worn, but being repaired to this extent, I was already very content. Glancing at the dark circles under his eyes, I thought of the childhood abduction when he shielded me. In the end, I softened, sighing and saying, "If you spoil your childhood sweetheart like this, something will definitely go wrong in the future." A little girl, what could go wrong? As long as she doesn't poke a hole in the sky, I can handle it. Adrian said with a smile. Father walked in, his face not looking good upon seeing Adrian. "Dad." Adrian quickly called, "It's been a while since we gathered, someday I'll bring 2 bottles of good wine and have dinner with you and Grace." "No need for someday, today." My father said sarcastically, "If it's a few days later, who knows if you'll anger my daughter to death." Adrian was a bit embarrassed. "Okay, I'll cook tonight, you two just sit and rest." But I didn't expect Adrian to bring his childhood sweetheart to our ancestral home. "Why is she here?" "Tina is here to apologize to you for ruining your birthday and your mother's relic." "No need, seeing her ruins my mood." I rolled my eyes. "Brother Adrian. I'm really unwelcome." Tina's tears came instantly, breaking Adrian's heart. "Grace, can't you treat Tina like a sister as I do?" "Sorry, I don't have such a stupid sister." "You." Cough cough. Adrian suddenly coughed. Tina hurriedly wiped her tears and patted Adrian's back. "Sister Grace, Brother Adrian hasn't slept for days to repair your music box." "Tina, don't say it, we'll just leave." For Tina, Adrian even skipped the family dinner he promised my father. Fine, come in." I could only relent. This relenting made me unable to forgive myself for the rest of my life. Adrian went to the kitchen to cook, Tina sat on the sofa watching TV. Seeing her engrossed, temporarily no time to cause trouble, I felt relieved to go upstairs to change clothes. "What are you doing?" Hearing my father's angry roar, I hurriedly ran downstairs. I saw my dog Coco lying on the ground, looking listless. In front of it was a chocolate bag. How could there be chocolate in the house? I looked at Tina, who explained in panic, I just fed it a small piece of chocolate. Chocolate is so delicious," and it ate it happily. I picked up the packaging bag, seeing the chocolate concentration, my heart almost stopped. "I'll drive to the pet hospital," Adrian said immediately. "No need for you, come, daughter." My father glared at them, taking me and the dog to the pet hospital. In the car, Coco started vomiting. While stroking Coco, I cried, "It's all my fault. I shouldn't have gone upstairs, shouldn't have left Coco downstairs, no, I shouldn't have let those two bastards in." Adrian called me, and I subconsciously answered. "Grace, don't be angry," I asked Tina. She said Coco ran out wanting to eat her chocolate. She didn't know dogs can't eat chocolate, so she kindly fed it. "Get lost. If something happens to Coco, you'll pay with your life." Tina's voice faintly came, "Brother, sister is too fierce, it's just a dog, and I didn't know dogs can't eat chocolate." The call was hung up, and I sent Coco to the emergency room. Father sat beside me, comforting, "Grace, Adrian is not a good match for you." My gaze was vacant, recalling the childhood scene where he saved me. "Dad knows you've always been grateful to Adrian, and Dad is also grateful he saved you, so he's taking care of the Liu family and business, but he's changed." Father never liked Adrian, saying the child had deep thoughts, so no matter how much Adrian tried to please, he couldn't make Father like him. It was only for my sake that Father reluctantly accepted him. "Dad. I'm so confused, right now, I just want Coco to be okay." I cried, covering my mouth. Father silently opened the surveillance video and handed it to me. "Probably that woman didn't know we have surveillance." In the video, Coco was sleeping in the cage. After I went upstairs, Tina sneaked to the cage, opened it. Coco thought Tina wanted to play, happily running out, then Tina opened the chocolate bag and fed it. My body was trembling. Anyone could see that Tina was trying to murder my dog. If I send the video, would Adrian side with me? I already had a faint answer in my heart. I saved the video, sniffled, "Dad, I know, give me a little more time." To completely bid farewell to the past Adrian. "Coco's family here?" Seeing the doctor come out, I quickly stood up. But I stood too abruptly, and due to low blood sugar, I was about to fall to the ground. "Careful." Beside me, a man wearing a mask hooked my arm. "Oh, thank you, young man." Father, who had gone to buy water, hurried over and thanked the man. "You're welcome." I came to my senses, about to thank him, but saw a crescent-shaped birthmark on his arm. It overlapped with the memory of the little boy who shielded me. I once asked Adrian why in my impression he had a birthmark on his arm. He just scraped my nose and said, "You remembered wrong, you were so young then, maybe mistook dirt on the body for a birthmark." I always thought I remembered wrong because I was young. But now, I saw this birthmark on a man. Thinking deeply, it was terrifying, cold sweat broke out instantly. But the priority was still my Coco. I grabbed his hand, placed it in Father's hand, instructing Father to hold tight and not let him run. Father didn't know the situation but still followed my words, holding the man's hand. "Miss, are you trying to scam me?" The man's voice was helpless, too miserable. "Today I was scammed by a kitten, and now by you, miss." The man picked up a kitten on the road, just sent the cat for checkup, and encountered me fainting. Fortunately, Coco survived because vomiting was induced in time. If it ate a bit more, even gods couldn't save it. Dog owners must be careful, things like grapes and chocolate can't be given to dogs. The doctor instructed, although out of life danger, it needs observation for a few days. After discharge, the dog will have sequelae. Family, go pay. Looking at the wilted Coco on the bed, thinking my negligence caused its suffering, tears flowed again. "Daughter, why don't you chat with this young man, I'll go pay." I nodded, walked to the man, and straightforwardly asked, 20 years ago, were you abducted by traffickers to the mountains?" The man wore a mask, a flash of panic in his eyes. "I don't remember." "Sorry." I silently apologized, under his puzzled gaze, yanked off his mask. On his face, a long scar extended from the cheekbone to the jaw. I covered my mouth, tears falling in large drops. "That year, Adrian shielded me. The traffickers beat him with sticks, he didn't make a sound. Then, the traffickers threatened him with a knife, and he didn't dodge. I saw with my own eyes the trafficker's knife stab into his face. After screaming, I fainted. I had sighed countless times that Adrian's face recovered so well. Turns out the boy who shielded me wasn't him at all. Why? My hand slowly touched his face. He didn't dodge, just lowered his eyes. Why that year, you told me your name was Adrian. After father knew the situation, he was shocked, jaw-dropping. You're the hero who saved my daughter? The man glanced at father, then at me, said, do you know what a companion reader is? I am Adrian's companion reader. Back then, Adrian's father built his fortune on black industries. He was ruthless, with many enemies chasing him. Adrian's father had asthenospermia. After giving birth to Adrian, fearing his only precious son would be retaliated against by enemies, he went to an orphanage and picked Evan, who resembled Adrian somewhat, to raise by his side. After the two switched names, the enemies really kidnapped Evan as Adrian. I happened to be next to Evan. The enemy glanced at me, said I was pretty, and kidnapped me too. Because of this kidnapping, Adrian's father climbed onto our family's big tree. Enemies didn't dare act rashly, so he let the two return to their places. The Liu family threatened me not to speak, but later, they wanted to kill me to silence me. I ran. Evan said faintly. As he spoke, he put the mask back on. The Liu family are bastards. Father angrily smashed the wall with his hand. And I, upon knowing Adrian wasn't my lifesaver, my love for him dissipated with the wind, leaving only hate. Opening the surveillance, Adrian and Tina hadn't left yet. In the video, their voices came clearly. Brother Adrian, do you think Sister Grace will be angry this time? I wonder if her dog will die. Since I wasn't there, Adrian stopped acting. He took off the apron, slumped on our sofa, saying tiredly, whatever, it's just a dog, I'm exhausted like a dog. Brother Adrian, it's all because of my heavy curiosity. Tina directly sat on Adrian's lap, massaging his shoulders. Adrian pulled her shoulder over. The action was very natural, like done countless times. Adrian. Evan's voice carried some hatred. He dares to treat you like this? I looked at Evan, sighed. It's not the first or second time. On Chishi Festival, he ate the dish Tina bit in front of me, and during video call, I saw Tina lying on his bed. You can tolerate this? Evan widened his eyes. Yes, all for Adrian saving me back then. I always told myself, without Adrian, my life would be gone long ago. Sorry. Evan lowered his head, self-blaming. Fortunately now, I know the one who saved me wasn't Adrian, but Evan. I smiled through tears. Evan looked at me, his eyes seeming moist too. In the surveillance, they started kissing. I was expressionless, just saving the content. Evan was placed by father in a hidden villa. When he escaped that year, he took many of the Liu family's dark materials. The Liu family thought these sealed dark materials were burned long ago, and Evan was burned to death, but unexpectedly, he escaped with them. When father and I returned to the ancestral home, the two hadn't left, sitting half a meter apart on the sofa. Adrian, why are your clothes wrinkled? I asked faintly. Hearing my tone seemed okay. Adrian relaxed, smiling. Cooking, it's inevitable to wrinkle, right? You're all hungry? I've made the dishes, eat quickly. No, father and I are tired today, please leave first. I opened the door. But it's late. Adrian's face paled, saying, your house has so many guest rooms, let us stay. Then let Tina go back, I don't want to see the person who harmed Coco. I issued an eviction order to Tina. Originally thought Adrian would go with Tina, but unexpectedly, he touched Tina's hair, coaxing, be good, I'll call a cab for you, go back first. No brother Adrian, I'm scared alone, what if the taxi driver wants to kill me? Tina started crying again, directly holding Adrian's hand without letting go. Tina, I indulged you too much before. Grace is my wife, if you do this again, I won't recognize you as a sister. Adrian said righteously, pulling his hand out, looking like a virtuous man. I was dumbfounded, didn't expect Adrian to be so good at acting. 15 minutes ago they were doing bad things, now turning face? I didn't believe it. Tina glared at me, walking away with 3 looks back. Brother Adrian, I'm leaving. Brother Adrian, I'll miss you. Brother Adrian. Before she finished, I closed the door. Adrian's eyes showed visible heartache. What, if it hurts, go accompany her. I crossed my arms, smiling. Wife, you're jealous. Adrian hugged me. Look, I repaired the music box for you, can I have a reward? Of course, I knew what his reward meant. Adrian, because of whom was my music box broken? Fine, I don't want a reward, just sleep with wife today, pure sleeping. Adrian acted cute with me. I suppressed the urge to vomit, nodded, okay. Because of raising Coco, my room also had surveillance, unfortunately he didn't know. At night, I went to shower, sat on the toilet and turned on the water, then opened the surveillance. Adrian, initially sitting on my bed, started searching around upon hearing the water flow. Adrian even wanted to steal? I narrowed my eyes. Suddenly, Adrian cursed, damn it, where is the confidential file? Though soft, I heard it. Before, I told him father would hand the Jiang family to me. He paused for seconds, said, wife, you don't need to work so hard, leave the company to husband, you just count money at home. At that time I thought he really cared, smiling and shaking head, Adrian, I want to stand by your side, not behind you. Now thinking, Adrian didn't want me by his side, he wanted to climb up stepping on my flesh and blood. I turned off the water, came out, saw him sit down panicked, wife, showered so fast. You used to take an hour. I sighed regretfully, unlucky, my period came. Period came, no, these days should be Tina's period. He blurted out, meeting my half-smiling eyes. Get out, remembering other women's cycles. I pushed Adrian out, locked the door. Wife, I was wrong. Adrian knocked. Punish you to sleep in the living room. Adrian really went to sleep in the living room. But he wasn't that obedient, almost flipping every corner of the house to find that non-existent confidential file. Evan helped us crack Adrian's phone. Chat records were organized into documents sent to me. Grace, take a heart pill before reading. Hee, what's this? I've seen him kiss the mistress. But 5 minutes later, I clutched my chest, unable to breathe. He not only cheated but planned to murder my father and take over our family. Tina knew part of his plan, so she dared bully me. To Tina, I was just Adrian's tool to strengthen the family, while she was his love. Thank you, Evan. I closed my eyes, not yet eased, when Amy ran crying, Sister Grace, our stray animal base was poisoned. Quickly stuffing evidence into my bag, I hurried to the base. This was the base Mother created single-handedly. As a child, I followed her, doing volunteer work there. After Mother's death, I took her place. But now, cats and dogs lay on the ground moaning in pain, some small ones foaming at the mouth. I picked up 2-month-old puppies from the ground, seeing me, they tried to rub their heads against me. Quick, to the pet hospital. I shouted. Sister Grace, nearby pet hospitals have taken what they can, these are milder cases. Contact distant hospitals, I'll cover costs. I opened my phone, dialing hospitals. But strangely, outside hospitals said no extra spots. When I was frantic, Adrian, hearing from somewhere, hurried to me, calling my name worriedly. Tina followed him, seeing the misery, exclaimed, wow, Sister Grace, why are your dogs almost dead? Do you like abusing small animals? She looked at me surprised. What are you saying? Amy wiped tears, someone maliciously poisoned. I turned, staring at Tina, you did it, right? You fed Coco chocolate, seeing it didn't die, targeted the stray animal base. Tina hid behind Adrian aggrievedly. Brother Adrian, look, Sister Grace is slandering me. If I knew, I wouldn't. Grace. Tina came to help, see the car outside? Tina contacted it to rescue the animals. Adrian's face turned ugly. Outside people in white coats and masks came to help carry cats and dogs. Great, Sister Grace, let's follow. Amy grabbed my hand excitedly. I took a deep breath, for the animal's safety, I must set aside grudges now. We all got in the car. But Tina cried, brother, I helped sister so much, yet she misunderstands me. Adrian held my hand, wanting me to apologize to Tina. I took a deep breath. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Tina raised her head triumphantly. Right, if not for telling brother Adrian, he wouldn't know about your trouble. No time to ponder Tina's words, I heard Amy exclaim, Driver, where are you going? I looked up, the gate read, Animal Crematorium. Crematorium? I looked at Tina. Tina nodded matter-of-factly, yes, aren't your cats and dogs dying? We'll go to the crematorium and burn them. My body trembled, almost losing reason. I lunged, choking Tina's neck. Tina, what are you thinking? Adrian's expression was awkward, seeming unaware, but seeing me hurt Tina, he pinched my hand hard, turning it purple. Grace, a misunderstanding. Do you want to kill for these little beasts? Adrian. Damn, control your retarded sweetheart. If you let her harm lives again, believe I'll really kill her. I reached, slapping Adrian's face. Tina, seeing Adrian hit, shouted and clawed to hit me. Until I took a fruit knife from my bag pointing at her, she stopped. Driver, please go to pet hospital. Amy said, trembling. The driver glanced, sighed. I thought it strange, usually pull dead ones, now live. Driver, sorry for trouble, I'll pay double. I wiped tears, said to driver. Tisk, spending brother Adrian's money anyway. Shut your stinking mouth. Before I spoke, Amy turned, glaring at Tina. I felt you familiar when you came, last time you abused cats here, I found and drove you out, now dare come? Slander. I interacted normally with kittens, you said abuse. Surveillance captured it, still deny. Amy looked at me, explained, Sister Grace, you were training outside then, we didn't tell you. Tina, glared by us, scared, hugged Adrian's arm shaking, Brother, I really wanted to help this time, just wrong direction. Adrian's mouth moved, continuing to plead for Tina, Grace, no big problem, they weren't cremated anyway. I was almost laughing in anger, animals needed urgent treatment, the delayed 10 minutes could kill them. No, they'll die like this. Amy said, wiping tears. At this time, my phone rang. Grace, I know a new pet hospital, if you trust me, I'll send the address. Trust, I trust you. Because Evan greeted, the pet hospital doctors waited at door, seeing us, they raced to send small animals to surgery. I finally relaxed, slumping on the outside sofa, head on Amy's shoulder. Suddenly, wrist grabbed. Grace, who was the man calling you? I didn't notice Adrian and Tina followed us. Does it concern you? I glared at him. Sister, you didn't cheat, right? Tina's voice loud, attracting surrounding people to look. Adrian, I just answered a call, you suspect cheating, what about you openly kissing and hugging in front of me? I looked at him half smiling. Tina and I are just siblings. Do you have blood relation? I roared at him, Adrian, since you like Tina so much, I'll leave, you think I care about Mrs. Liu position? Adrian's attitude softened instantly, he hugged me, voice crying, sorry Grace, my fault, I'm just too afraid you'd cheat. Hee hee, because you cheated, you see others cheating. I faintly pushed him away. At this time, doctor came out, apologetically, lady, of the 13 puppies and kittens you sent, we only saved 5 puppies. Sorry, if 5 minutes earlier, many had no vital signs when arrived. Doctor's expression pained. 5 minutes earlier. I turned, slapped Tina, then kicked her down. Adrian, unable to pull me, kicked me flying several meters. I lay on ground, spat blood, looked up seeing Adrian hold Tina coaxing, Tina, it's okay, no one can bully you. Tina cried shouting, Brother Adrian, what did I do wrong? I want sister in jail. Who goes to jail, not certain yet. After Amy and I settled the rescued pets, we investigated the poisoning. Our base is famous online, Amy livestreams 24/7. We checked surveillance while posting high rewards online, useful clues get paid. Soon, someone contacted us. He sent a photo, the person was the honest keeper, Uncle Yang. When we found him, his eyes had guilt. Before we spoke, he knelt. He said his child gambled, owed huge debt, so when Tina found him, he agreed. Adrian laughably pulled me to apologize to Tina. I directly played Tina instigating Uncle Peter to poison audio. Uncle Peter, think, a few cats and dogs' lives for your sons, isn't it worth it? Adrian bitter smiled, helplessly, Grace, no need, don't hurt family for a few beasts. Family? Who is your family? I threw divorce agreement at Adrian's face. Grace, what are you doing? Adrian panicked. How could he not panic? Father recently hinted wanting him to succeed, if divorced, no qualification for Jiang Industries. Either sign, or I send Tina to prison. Adrian, don't you like cleaning up for your sweetheart? Continue. I handed the pen. He trembling took it, threw away. Grace, please don't be ruthless, forgot childhood abduction, I saved you? I looked expressionless, he pleaded. Until Evan appeared, removed mask, he like seeing ghost, called, Evan. Aren't you dead? Crawled out from hell. Evan looked coldly at Adrian. So, you know? Adrian looked at me. Adrian, seeing you and Tina ambiguous repeatedly, I was disgusted long ago, if not for saving my life, think I could tolerate you till now? But didn't expect your get-out-of-jail card was stolen. For our marriage, just sign this agreement, I won't pursue Tina, if not only jail Tina, but expose this, see who netizens side with. Friendly reminder, many netizens found the poisoning culprit. Then, Tina called, Brother Adrian, why so many cursing at door? What did I wrong? I won't live, Brother Adrian, I'll die with the child in belly. I didn't expect Tina pregnant. Adrian glanced nervously, started soothing Tina. After hanging, Adrian closed eyes painfully. If I sign, you'll let Tina go. Yes, you know I'm always true to word. Not really. After signing, he looked up smiling, Grace, since you're ruthless, I'll inform everyone of Jiang family's secrets. His words just finished, 2 police came, cuffed him. Mr. Adrian, you're suspected of illegal smuggling, capturing rare animals, stealing confidential files, please come with us. Police? Do you know who my father is? Adrian threatened. The Liu family even defies police. They treat lives as grass, exploit legal loopholes with strong connections, capture and sell protected animals. Now wanting to wash hands, but blood on hands fused into skin, can't wash off. Your son is already under investigation at the station. As he left, he turned to look, I mouthed words, he seemed to understand, face paler. I said, that confidential file is fake. Father and I countered, forged fake files. Liu family believed, I think Liu family will bankrupt soon. Our evidence is solid. Thanks to Evan, we sent Liu family to prison at once, otherwise, I'd collect evidence slowly by Adrian. And Tina, I never planned to let her go. Grace, I don't ask else, just care for Tina, she's pregnant. When I visited Adrian, he shamelessly requested. Adrian, think I'm a fool? Care for your mistress and illegitimate child? I laughed. No, Tina has a boyfriend, the child isn't mine. Adrian still fabricated lies. I directly showed that day's home surveillance, appreciating his shocked expression. Rest assured, prison people will care for Tina. Didn't you promise not to sue Tina? He grabbed bars, fierce. I not only sued, I posted all her deeds, and wrote your illicit affair into story with your pictures, many views. If you luckily get out of prison, you can experience being stars. I smiled standing, right, one more thing. That year, you falling into sea wasn't accident, but Tina's father's scheme. He had terminal illness, wanted good home for wife and daughter. I threw photos, turned to leave. I heard roar behind, then electric sound. Out of prison, I breathed relief. Turned, saw under sunset Evan half squatting, feeding kitten ham. I walked quickly, he looked up, requested, Grace. As you wish, take it. Because of Evan, our stray animal base grew stronger. After he picked up kitten, I reached to pull his mask, he widened eyes terrified, used kitten to block face scar. Don't look, ugly. I reached, touched his scar, where ugly. This is hero symbol, right? Father contacted best scar removal hospital abroad, willing to try? Abroad, can you accompany me? The kitten in his arms meowed. I touched kitten's head. I need to think more. Lou family collapsed, infamous forever. Adrian in prison, unknown what he did, beaten by inmates, can no longer reproduce. Tina, due to her own doom, miscarried and went insane, locked in mental hospital. And I, with Evan, boarded plane to abroad. He fell asleep, head on my shoulder. I thought, in future, I won't twist guilt into love anymore.